Morning, Thomas. How are you?
Jonathan, I am doing fantastic. We haven't seen each other in a little over a week, but now we're back here together and also back with our community here at Creative Knowledge for You. So how you been doing?
Doing good. Been busy with the holidays around the corner and just getting everything wrapped up. How about you? How was your travels last week?
My travels were very fruitful. I got to do a little bit of business and also see some old relationships and friends, and that's nice.
Yeah,
It's not about the Benjamins and the grants for currency. The real currency in life is relationships. That's the true currency,
that's
So
for sure.
that's a beautiful thing about it. But let me tell you about one of my clients that I came across. I've been dealing with them for 3 years, so we haven't chatted in a while. But these guys, there's four of them. One's an attorney. He's 37. Then they have a banker. He's actually 40. They got a general contractor. He's actually 41, and actually they also have a financer, VC financer, who groups people together. So hence, what industry do you think they're in with all those guys?
Real estate.
You got it, bingo. So these guys actually concentrate in the South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia arena. And when they all came together, each one of these guys, as I mentioned, what they do, I don't have to mention their names because you're not going to remember. I just want to keep with their titles. They bring a specialty to the table, and that's what they're doing. The attorney automatically gets to be a real estate broker. So he had 29 producing reps. With the way the economy's turning, and this is a southeastern United States, things have worsened. Okay, they actually had the worst home sales in the last 2 months that equaled 13 years ago. So you can see where the economy's going, even in a prime area like that. But when I initially met these guys, I had this grand plan, and they were accomplishing things. They wanted to, group together. The finance of BC guy, he was pooling money together. The goal was to get $500 million together and start buying all these houses. And they were going to rehab some of them and also sell them. And the banker, he's also connected on the mortgages. So it was like, you got the lawyer with the real estate agents, you got the
Right.
financing guy, you got the banker, et cetera, the contractor. So, things were going very good for them. They didn't get to that point of that 500 million. It wasn't going to happen overnight, but that was their game plan of what they wanted to do. However, what ended up happening, they bought a commercial building about 2 years ago, and they have it 75% full. And a couple of the partners wanted to start taking money from it, but they said, hey, listen, the other two was like, no, we just keep it in there, pool the money together. Because something I had told them, listen, keep the money there. When you get enough money in the pool, in the reserves, then you can actually buy another building. So that's what you want to do. So when I had met with them last week, actually the attorney, they're starting to have a little bit of disruption in their little group. So I had told the attorney, I go, listen, you're 37 years old. I'm going to tell you this much. When an opportunity comes around, a big opportunity, meaning the whole market, it only happens about once every 20 years. So you guys are on the verge of, seeing this opportunity arise. You guys are getting discouraged. Some people think they're so experienced in their late 20s and 30s, and you're not. You're gaining experience. Once you get over 40 years old, that's when you start becoming seasoned. Okay, you're a seasoned veteran. You're starting to see things differently. You're still a young buck in your 20s and 30s. Okay, but you're going through emotions. There's nothing negative about that. It's just that's the reality. That's what
Yeah.
it comes down. So there was a little bit of discouragement. So far, what I told you, what's your kind of thoughts on the situation?
Well, the first off, are the four very friendly? Are they? Is it business only, or is it more of like friendship than business?
You,
Because
you know what? It's more like friendship, and that's the danger zone, in my opinion.
I always find when you're working with partners, it's always better to be business first, friends next, because you always hold each other accountable the right way. When you're friends, right, it's not to say that you can't work with friends, it's just more difficult. Friends and family, it's very difficult to work with because you always have that personal relationship. So first off, that might be something that they need to really consider. But real estate, I mean, in New York, real estate's it's let's say it's interesting, right?
Mhm.
I'm into real estate. I'm into investment properties, multifamily dwellings, fix and flip kind of deals. And we've seen so much change over the last 4 or 5 years where, prior to COVID, we had uh, maybe not, it was still very high in the real estate. It was hard to get good deals, but you still were able to get a couple here and there. And then
Mhm.
COVID happened, right? Everyone was scared at first because jobs were going away. But then people realized that they can actually make money in houses. So everything went up, especially interest rate was very low. So all prices went up. It's very hard to find a good deal during COVID. And even with the economy being the way it is, inflation being at all-time highs, the real estate, what we've seen here in New York at least, is that you weren't really seeing people reducing their price as much as you thought you were. They would either stay at asking or it just wouldn't come on the market. So it's definitely a very different time on in the real estate front. So I can see what they're going through. Maybe that it's very difficult to figure out the right route to take, especially when you have four different friends figuring out how to go about business. But they really got to figure out what they want to focus on. Commercials, its own animal. Commercial real estate. I've done mostly all residential, right? Two,
Mhm.
three family dwellings. That's always easier because you have people always need houses to live in. But it also depends on if they're looking to fix and flip. Interest rates. You're seeing interest rates are starting to go down now. I think that they just went under 7. I saw the other day.
Mhm.
So that's going to be what I would imagine that things are going to start going up again as far as prices for houses and real estate. But I guess they need to have like a five-year plan. Like, what are they looking to do? Are they predominantly looking to hold property and rent it out, or are they looking to flip them? That may
You know
be
what?
some.
They basically, their game plan was to flip stuff. The commercial space walked into their pathway from a mentor that they had. So they took
Yeah,
advantage of it. It's in a great little micro city, down between Charlotte and Atlanta. It's actually Greenville, South Carolina, great growing area.
yeah,
So they were able to take advantage of that. But my advice to the attorney was this. I go, even though you're the youngest one in the room, you are the attorney. You have the brokerage. You had 29 reps, that were actually producing for you. That kind of dwindled down, but we'll get into that end. But I told them you need to sit down with them and say, hey, listen, we need to take a strategy here. We have to, have tight pockets and be
yeah,
smart about how we look at the landscape in front of us. There are going to be speed bumps. Listen, it's kind of funny. People talk about the mortgages. Oh my God, 6, 8, percent. Listen, when I was buying properties, listen, 8%, but that was kind of like the norm back in the 90s. So, it's people got spoiled. They literally got spoiled. You just have to be very strategic and you got to be logical about it. You can't be emotional because when you're emotional, you make bad decisions. That's what it comes down to. So I basically told them, you lay out the floor plan with these guys, you let them speak, but it's shit to get off the pot. If they still want to leave, you know what? Then shake the tree and let the ones leave because that means they're weak to begin with. And that's what it comes down to. You need a strong team.
you need a strong team. It's all about having the team, but also looking at the numbers, right? I've
Mhm.
seen some of the most let's the very ugly properties, right? Weird setups. Those are the properties that you can get in sometimes on a lower price that you need to, and you can get your cap to be
100%.
higher.
Yeah.
So it used to be that you can have a cap of 10, 12%. Now, sometimes if you go in with a mortgage, you're not going to even make your money that you need to pay the bills because the prices of the houses are so expensive. The interest rates are so high still. Again, yeah, interest rates used to be in five, sixes, but people are spoiled in the threes. So now they think, five is too much. But it all comes down to the numbers. Will the numbers make? Rents are going up, rents have gone up, but also the cost of living has gone up. Taxes in New York are very expensive. I'm sure it's, nationwide that everything's going up. Anything to maintain the properties, homeowners insurance is another beast. a huge problem across the country. The insurance
Mhm.
rates are just through the roof, right? I mean, literally, you can't, people are seeing 60, 70% increase in their homeowners insurance. So it's very hard to make profit in real estate if you don't buy the right way, if you don't rehab it the right way. But if you're trying to fix a flip, it's all about the numbers. You got to buy it at a good price. If you're looking to knock it down, it's got to be uh, thought about. What kind of design do you have? The architect, what goes in that area? What kind of homes are being built? I always like to be, you want to be something that the area is currently having a lot of. It's a lot of colonials, a lot of, mid-century modern type, whatever it may be. Just be for that area because you don't want to put a oddball house in the area. But it's real estate's great. I mean, you can make a lot of money in real estate. We have, and it's just a matter of having that plan set up.
Listen, you nailed it, man. Real estate, you make a nice passive income from it. There are some headaches that come along with it, but listen, tell me what doesn't have headaches, though, right? That's what it is. But it's a nice monthly income coming into you. I have had properties for the last oh God, it's 30 years already. So I'm also have partners when it comes to a commercial, some commercial space which it's nice to have, but I'd rather have the residential side of things. Uh, so far, we've been blessed with the commercial side because it's mostly all medical. Probably about 90% of the building is all medical. So that's a good avenue to be in. All right. I know there's a lot of empty commercial space around the country, and we're heading into bad times on the commercial space, but that's a whole nother segment. Anyway, but to loop back how I started this conversation, with these guys that I know. I had told, the attorney himself, sit down with these guys, do it sometime within the next, before Christmas. So that's right around the corner. Hopefully it happens for them, and hopefully they're able to get things on track, and they're going to be smart about it, and that's what it comes down to. But, if you guys have partners out there, you know what? You got to be on the same team. You got to be on the same page. It's okay to have different thought process and challenge one another, but you want to have conversations about it. Agree to disagree, that's all right. But when it comes to the main part of the financial side, you got to be on the same page as you're going to build your kingdom in real estate, especially.
Yeah, definitely.
Jonathan, we're going to call it a segment because I know I got a busy day in front of me and you do as well. And hopefully our viewers out there got some good information from this, and it's been very creative knowledge for you. You guys have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.